Please select destination.
Hello, today I just want to talk a little bit about the companion app for Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Some of you may know that I wasn't really planning on getting Black Flag. Assassin's Creed 3 disappointed me hugely, and I said I wasn't going to do it, but I got it for the Xbox One and I actually haven't regretted it. It's actually pretty good. I like being on the ships and stuff. However, I got the companion app basically just so I could have the map and have the treasure maps available, so I didn't have to keep switching between them when I was exploring around. But I discovered it's much more useful than that, and there's a bit of strategy. It's not huge, but there's a bit of strategy that you can use to help you gain the two things that are important. The first thing being money, which is always useful, both within the companion app and especially within the game. It lets you buy stuff for your ship. But the second thing is jewels. Jewels allow you to expand the docks, allow you to repair your fleet, which then allows you to go out and onto trading missions, which gets you more money, and also stuff. There's works of art, but also treasure maps, which can be found during the trading process as well, which you can only get during the trading routes, during those exercises. So, what I'm going to do is take you through the companion app, just page by page. The first page that you come to is the world map. This is the map that you can use when it's sat next to you, so you can see where you are, see where the ships are, see where your prizes are, etc. Here we're in Greater Nagua, the pirates' sort of home place where your docks and things are. You can see there I've just docked, and there's actually a treasure map which I haven't got, so I'm going to have to go and get that in a little minute. So this is the world map. You can zoom in, zoom out, it shows you where things are, and it allows you to also, if you tap on things, it sets the waypoint in the game. Lets you just go straight there. So all good things. So that's that bit. The next interesting bit is the treasure maps. Treasure maps are just what they say. Some of them you find lying around, like the one that was just on the world map there. You go to corpses, you find the map, you get the map, and it shows you where the treasure is. Others you get through trading missions. That's the only way you can get them. Well, what some of the maps will say is, for example, this one, if you find the treasure, part of the treasure is a plan for the elite harpoon, which you can only get by having the plan. You can't buy it. You have to find the treasure. So useful in that way. That's the treasure maps. Next one is stats. Yeah, okay, shows you how far you're through, that kind of thing. Not really exciting. After that, the Animus database. The Animus database has actually some cool information, but also some comments from the Abstergo game makers around what they're doing when they're when they're building the game. Excuse me. Remember that in the game you are playing the game in Abstergo, who are making the game from the memories. It's all very complicated. There's quite a few people who have said, why are you spoiling my pirate game by putting me into a cube in Canada every now and again? Anyway, so this is the database, but there is actually some quite interesting information and some quite humorous comments in there as well. I'm going to skip on to the last one, and then we'll come back to Fleet. This is the feed, the community feed. It shows you what you're doing. It also shows you the hot topics for the community. There are some pirates, the Flying Dutchman event started, that kind of thing. So you can get involved with that kind of stuff, and it keeps you up to date within this bit here. So the final and most interesting bit is the fleet. Now, I have boarded and sent a ship to Kenway's fleet. There's three things you can do when you board a ship, typically. You can repair the jackdaw, you can lower your level of awareness, that kind of thing. If it's too high, the bad guys come after you. Or I suppose, strictly speaking, they're the good guys, they're the pirate hunters, but as far as you're concerned, they're the bad guys. And if your reputation is too high, they can get you actively. You can tell them they have red sails. This brig, the Davenport, was actually a pirate hunter who came after me, and I got a ship. So you can lower your reputation, or you can send a ship to the fleet. I sent it to the fleet. When it gets added to the fleet, you have some options. Now you can see that I have no dock space available, none left. And to add more docks, it's going to cost me 3,000 jewels. I only have 424 jewels. It's not enough. So what I can do is add more docks. No, can't afford it. I can salvage a ship from the fleet, which basically means I can get rid of one of the ships I've got and put this one in its place. Now, this brig can only carry 25 cargo. It's not very much. so I'm not going to do that. Or I can salvage it for 225 gemstones. That will do, because gemstones are cool. So we're going to salvage that. Here I've got a schooner. I'm not really interested in schooners. They're fast. They have an edge in the fleet battles because they can send off little mines which blow up next to the opposing ships. But frankly, yeah, I've got a couple of man of wars. I don't really need a schooner. So I'm also going to salvage this one for 150 gemstones. And there we go. So, the bottom line on strategy there is, whenever you board and capture a ship, always send it to Kenway's fleet if you don't need to lower your reputation, or you choose not to because it's not the end of the world, and you don't need to fix the jackdaw. By sending it to the fleet, you get further choices which you wouldn't have otherwise, like scuttling them for gems or swapping it out. It means you can go through your fleet and say, it's not actually as good as I thought it was, we'll just get rid of it and we'll get the gems rather than just blowing it up. So within the fleet you have the ships that you've got, and you can scroll through them and see where they are, what they're doing, the cargo space they've got, etc, etc, etc. So that's the fleet. You can actually add docks at this point as well. Typically I do them when I get a new ship. The naval map is kind of where things go on. So you'll see that because of my trade missions I have 27,600 reals to collect in the captain's cabin in the game. Now if I choose to do that, that goes down to 0 and they're in the game and I can spend them in the game. They transport between. Right now I can't spend them in the game because they're here. If I go into the captain's cabin, they'll be collected from here into there and I can spend them. It's quite simple really. Now in terms of the two important things, money and gems, 27,000 reals is a lot. You can do a lot with that. The prize ships in the game will give you 20,000 reals. Capturing a man of war gives you 1,000 reals. So 20,000 is a lot. And right at the start it seemed like an awful lot. If you get into the companion app and you increase your fleet up to 10, 15, I'm on 12 now, ships, you can make 20,000 reals in a couple of sessions. It's actually really quite easy to get that amount of money. It takes the pressure off in the game, means you can upgrade your ship and that kind of thing. So that's money. Now you can see from the map itself that there are lots of routes and they're in lots of different colours. Green ones, as it says, are secure, they're safe, and it's green. The yellow ones is hazardous. Now when you're securing the route, you can see that if you secure this route it will give you 5 gems. Okay, that's not very much, but it's actually quite a short route and it's quite simple to secure. They go from top down, so the first one you get is Gulf of Mexico, then Southern British colonies, which there are 4 missions in, etc, etc. The last one I've currently got is South Atlantic 2, and you can see it's dangerous, and from taking it from dangerous to hazardous I get 22 gems. I'll get more from taking it from hazardous to safe. So there are multiple gems and offers. Just take you quickly through how you secure a route. You go into a ship battle. Now you'll see this route is currently being secured by a gunboat. Now gunboats are fast, they shoot quickly, they can typically get 2 shots off in the time it takes a brig or a frigate to get 1 shot off. But they don't do a huge amount of damage. So a gunboat on a schooner, yeah, it's probably going to be a reasonably even match, but put them up against a couple of brigs, no chance. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of that by putting them up against a couple of brigs. Now immediately that I put the Santa Luis in there, it went up to 100% chance of success. So why put an extra one in? Well, quite simply, I like having lots of firepower, and you'll see that the first ship gets a speed bonus, the second ship gets a firepower bonus, which is good. The firepower bonus +5 on 32, speed bonus +10 on 54. So once you've got that sorted out, you can put a third ship in there if you want, and that one takes less damage. So if we had a schooner that we wanted to put in there to use those fire mines, then we could do that. We'd drop it in there and it would take less damage if it got hit. We don't, we're going to launch the battle. Now when the battle runs through, you have the option to shoot a fire barrel. Fire barrels basically let you get a first kick in. They don't have a timer associated with them. As soon as you hit them, they go through, everything stops, they blow up, they cause damage. So you can actually get a first kick in, and if it's a little boat, it may actually destroy them straight away, so you don't actually have to engage in any combat. As you can see with this, we've now destroyed the gunboat. The San Pedro that's taken a bit of a hit. That's probably a 4 duel repair. We've got 5 duels out of this. We're 1 duel up on the game. Not a huge amount, but the route's now safe. Because the route's safe, we can happily send ships out on missions. So then you basically just rinse and repeat. Go through all of the routes that you have, get them down to safe, and then send all of the ships out on all of the trade routes that you can. Starting with the ones that require the most cargo and take the longest because they give you the most money. Basically what will happen is you'll go through that process, the ships will come back in dribs and drabs, and you'll then be able to go through and re-engage in ship battles, make the routes safe again. You'll collect more jewels, you'll collect more money, you'll be able to open more docks, you'll capture more ships, you'll get more jewels, you'll add them to your fleet, you open up more routes, you get more money, and it basically becomes almost a rinse and repeat exercise. But this bit's actually quite fun at the same time. So, very quick strategy. Use the companion app, get as many ships in your fleet as you can, keep the routes safe, do all the trade missions, you'll get money, you'll get prizes, you'll get treasure maps, you'll get elite stuff for the ship. That's it. I'll see you next time.